Hello and welcome. I have something interesting for you today. I'm gonna play a round of Hearts of Iron, but not any Hearts of Iron game. We're playing A Little Pony, Hearts of Iron. Um, so for those of you who don't know what Hearts of Iron usually does, it's came shortly before or in World War II from Paradox. That's a grand strategy game. Play one nation, you have like a focus tree where you choose what to do throughout the game, which political ideology to go for, stuff like that. And yeah, this fairly big mod gives you a whole new map with 3 continents. I don't know how the continents are called, but whatever. Um, and we're gonna play as communist forces that are living in Stalingrad. Um, we'll mostly not look at the other 2 continents because there's gonna be more than enough. I don't really know anything about My Little Pony, so that's that. But I think we might still have some fun. So let's start. Right. Right away, we're getting some information about this. We have some food shortages. There's a civil war. Current General Secretary de Altidia Equestria. We currently have a struggle for leadership in Vasily and Sinister. Equestria is the nation in the world. Yeah, we're pretty big. Um, oh, so this is what we start with. 9 divisions, 1 field marshal, and 1 Veronica Krasnova. Although we have some neighbors, which are Equestria, which we split off from, with some Buffalo Chiefdom and some Dragonlands in them. The Crystal Empire is in the same faction as them. The United Pony Alliance, as is the the Commonwealth of New Maryland over here. Otherwise, there's Nova Griffonia, which is a Griffin-controlled land, as well as the Griffin Frontier, which is their puppet. And then there's penguins and polar bears over here. There's the Changelings that will wage war against Equestria at some point, usually after subjugating Olania, which is run by deers, and the polar bear communities first. We also have the Kingdom of Jakistan and the Jaki clan, which are usually waging war at some point in the game, with little bits and pieces of Equestria over here and over here. And there's Starlight's Town, which is actually our puppet that we will be able to integrate later. All right. First of all, we do have the Palace of the Soviets, which we can try to build throughout the game, which like gives us a big old palace. We start with a bunch of research slots, which is nice. There's these things. I'm gonna start with this, which gives you extra monthly population, because I did play this in multiplayer a couple times, and I realized that you really have shortages on this end population. Research speed, and then already start with this, but I'm gonna increase my construction speed to start with. We can start by building a couple more civilian factories. I don't care about not training any divisions for now. We're having a couple shortages on a bunch of resources anyway. We're building a lot of weird ships, but we can keep them for now. I don't really like tactical bombers, but I think they're fine for now too. And we do start with a fairly big navy. but I'm usually just combining them. We have a very big navy. We will put under the Furious Glory. I'm gonna put it on Strike Force, which for now won't do anything, given that we only have these two neighbors. And we finished most of our things. Now let's look at our focus tree. So, there's a couple things in here. First, we will have to start with this because there's literally no other focus to start with. We have different forms of focus trees that we can go at the beginnings, where I'll actually have to look at a couple. We have an extra research slot over here, which is really cool. We'll need a couple. This we'll get this later once we don't have any more food shortages, and it's gonna make us a lot stronger overall. And back with this Equestria. Okay, this can make me a puppet of someone else. I don't want to do that. So we basically have two main focus trees because I'm not gonna go for Darkwing. I can avoid it. We can go for the New Horizons and Vasily, where we are a bit more progressive. We help others break the frontier, or we go for the Sinister thing, which this does give you a lot more recruitable population, which is why I'm interested in having it. Does give us a lot of land forts, penguins, and then gives us the award to end all wars later. And the changeling lands we can actually also take. So yeah, I'm gonna try to go for Sinister. Which does mean that we won't take Sinister as an ideology curse raider, because once he takes over the whole party, he's not gonna be available as a political advisor. We start with develop science base, modern society, legible illiteracy, legible poverty. So we don't have to worry about any of these. So for now, we can just hope. Yeah. If you want to read this, you can. But yeah, basically with the solution. Yeah. Coldstream, party disagreements. Yeah. Coldstream Summit. Coldstream Summit, I think, is over here. The River Relation. One of the bigger factions in the game. Usually fights against the Rice Pact at some point. We actually have decent equipment at the beginning, so I'm gonna train my starting units. Yes. And I'll start by training some Pegasus divisions, which are pretty fast. I like them quite a bit. We'll start by doing these. Will I... No? Take a look. Focus here. We can either do propaganda broadcast or relocate our money for industry. Vasily suggests that the state needs to relocate these resources to support the worker cooperatives. We're not going to do that, given that we are going to get rid of Vasily Altidia. Right? Oh no, wait, Vasily is this guy. Relay this as first. Request expansion. As we're interested in politics. I'm gonna relocate some money for industry instead. So, we now have started the finish, and we can now do this, which this gives you some political power gain, some communism support, and a lot of stability. But stability is usually not where your issue lies. So instead, we'll go for industrial relocation, which gives us a bunch of research speed, some negative recruitable pop, but it also gives us weekly construction speed and civilian construction speed. So we'll be able to build a little bit more in the next couple things. This also only gives you the stability for 300 days, so weekly stability is actually a bit better. And we can't really take anything else. But what we can do is we could abandon the construction, which we won't do because I want to build it. I'm gonna take this. So we'll have to wait for these. If I remember correctly, need to start building it first, which we'll get a focus for soon. We could go to early mobilization already, which also increases our construction speed. But I think not what I want to do. Could take facility for higher industrial speed as well, but I don't think that's especially good. I think I'm going to start by going for free trade, which gives us more construction speed, 5% more research speed, and more output. Although it does cost us a bunch of our resources. Right. We now, I think, get these decisions. Not yet. Right. There we go. Now we have these construction of the Palace of the Soviets decisions, which cost us a bunch of civilian factories, but they do give us a lot of stability. At the end, we also get some extra other things, so I like to take them. We also can aggressive assaulter. It makes sense to take it with offensive doctrine and diplomatic, which we can't take yet because we don't have enough command power. All right. Oh, only a couple days till our industrial relocation starts, and then afterwards we'll be able to go for our next focus. This is gonna be whether we want to go for railway innovation or the stallion tank factories, which I like a lot more. So yeah, we'll have to go through this first. I'm gonna start with the tank factories because I really like having 3 more military factories this early. That seems really nice. Currently building with only 3 civilian factories, which is quite a few, or quite little rather. So hopefully next time we can go for early mobilization. Oh, I didn't realize that civilian in this economy in this mod actually gives you some small bonuses in industrial and economics research speed. That is pretty cool. Right. And once this takes through, we'll be able to click it again. Research, which is going to be modern analytical engines because it gives more research speed, and we will need that later. We have more research slots. Do start with a couple air wings, which we will put this one army, put the fighters. Okay. Buffalo Chieftain became a loser basically. Then we can't fuse these as these are different tactical bombers. But that should be fine. Right. Let me pause recording till this finishes. Right, we finished this, and we can't take another one because we do need to do supporting of one of our people first, which I think will happen in just a second. We do got a couple extra military factories where we'll have to think what we use them on, and we have a bunch of ships. But because all of these are already starting to build, I'll just do it like this. So these will just finish one after another. But what we do with our logistics is interesting. I have realized that usually you need quite a bit of support equipment. I wanted to put 2 factories on support equipment, and I'm a big fan of artillery. Although, we're currently not producing any light tanks, which we should definitely change. Light tank divisions are pretty cool for these. So let's build a couple. We have pretty big steel shortages, which we will be able to change, but that does mean that we're not producing as many light tanks as we would like to. Yeah, we currently can't choose a national focus, but that will change in a second. Now we get to decide who to go for. So yeah, I'm not gonna go for compromise. I think we're gonna go for elections so we can actually get Sinister. Alright. Nearly finished with this. First war we're gonna fight is very likely. Alright. The first war we're gonna fight is very likely to be against Nova Griffonia. So might as well. Maybe I can draw it a little smarter. I don't think it's gonna make a huge difference. Let's do it like this. A new national focus, which is going to be called elections. And we do get to put another person into our government, which in this case I will not do, but rather go for early mobilization so that we can build our factories faster and need less of them who build them, which builds them faster in multiple ways. Currently, we have the Dream government, which is... Oh, they actually made themselves not be a puppet anymore, which is interesting. That's...
Our lands must be preserved.
Yeah. Be meaningful, I think. We're gonna take charismatic here. I think I like having a Panzer expert, even though we're not using it as much yet, because we only have one light tank division. Hopefully that will change later. And so I don't forget, I will also make an Avenger, so we have a little more resources. I don't think we're attacking into as many forts at the beginning. While the extra equipment is gonna be pretty mean. There's a research slot, we finished this. We're still in June. We have these extra magical divisions, which I really like. But I think I want to research this so we're building the good light tanks. But we will go for these magical divisions because they give a lot of breakthrough later. Oh, they have a war. Interesting. Fighting. Autism and socialists. Huh. Actually, we do have a vote elections now, but we could send the Deus Republic volunteers, could we not? Oh no. Because we currently don't have a person in charge. But we might be able to do that. I think we're interested in having our communist brethren take it. We can't take another focus just yet. We'll have to wait a second. Huh. Alright. Like we'll be able to get Sinister set off. I'm gonna go for partial mobilization next. See. Pretty sure that someone with Sinister in their name cannot be evil, so we're Gucci. I'm gonna change the templates in a second, but I'm not gonna pause for that. Ooh, the Socialist Republic. We can't yet send anyone volunteers, so we'll have to wait for a bit. Ah, there we go. We can take Sinister. Now, I'm gonna go for this, so we can get rid of our food shortages as soon as possible, because I think that's really important, and it gives us the Focus Our Town, which incorporates our puppet, which has quite a bit of industry. This gives us a second research slot, so we do want to do that, and we do want to go for this, the full electrification. But we'll do that after incorporating this into our town. There's also a couple of things that give us resources over here that are really cool. So with a lot of good focuses, I think I will start with this one because it gets me here. Getting rid of food shortages seems quite useful. Now, can we send volunteers? We can send one volunteer division. All right, then let's take our tank division. I guess we should take Veronica. Here. We could also engage in the Rival Republic's war, but I really don't care what's happening on that continent for now. Let's not do that yet. Let's send Masha Norishka in charge. He is very useful. Right. Oh, the Deer's Republic requests our help. Oi. Ooh. This does cost me quite a bit, especially because it costs me political power, which I'd really rather like to go for my own. Like, I'm gonna send them volunteers, and I think they're winning anyway. And I'm not sure I will actually interact with them later at all. It doesn't look like it. I might justify against them manually, but I will not intervene, besides sending volunteers, which is kind of intervening. Alright, we've arrived in Yorkland.
Answering the call. Move out.
Down here. Or let's get to servers first. We can interact a bit with this and get a bit of army experience, which is pretty cool.
Move out.
I'm gonna on the speed a bit. For now, I'm just gonna take the victory points that I can to help them out and save their industrial base. I think I don't need to throw away any of my manpower. And we can go into partial mobilization, which is gonna give us a couple more factories to work with. Meaning we build these faster. Wonderful.
Ponies at the ready.
My tank division is thriving. This has a bit of oil, which might matter for teammate.
Answering the call.
I think this unit is moving out of this tile, so wait for a second. I can take it and then try to encircle their unit.
Moving out.
Template. That's fine.
Move out.
Wow.
Ponies,
Okay, we
fire.
really shouldn't attack here. Need to reorg first. I don't know, hopefully they'll help me. And we'll get a couple of extra political power, which I'll use to actually get myself a chief of army. I've seen how that seems hard. Alright, wonderful. We're winning this fight now. Overall, I think the communist Dear Republic is doing fairly well, even though they don't really have many people. Oh, wow. The River Republic has been annexed. We now have socialists in the River Republic, which I assume they're not in the coalition. Alright, that's gonna be quite interesting. Right, turn to this. Currently winning here. I assume, yeah, they should win with these values. So no issue there. Albeit I'm losing, that doesn't really matter because they can't reorg. So I'll continue attacking regardless. We made a pretty big cut here. Fortunately, they're not using it. Not that big a deal. Alright, we can up the speed a bit. Mm-hmm. Right. We finished this national focus, so we can go for farmers market, which gives us less political power gain, but it does give us extra factory output and less consumer good factories, so that's decent. And afterwards, we'll be able to get rid of our food shortages, which is really important. We could go for limited conscription already, but I think there's not that much point. We could start to go for popular figurehead for some extra stability. But I think for now I'm gonna go for chief of army thing, which is gonna be this one because I really like being extra fast. And this one gives more army experience than this one. This one only gives 0.2. So here we go. This would order. Sure. Whatever. Right. They're only one tile be. Why are they not taking their capital? But they're winning, so it doesn't really matter. And attacking here actually is cool because it gives me a bunch of experience for our tank division. I don't mind that. And for our commander. Alright, wonderful. Lydia's Republic won, even though we didn't help them, which I think means they like us less. Yeah, well, that's fine. Lydia's Republic. Formation, thousands have gathered in the street to the Riksdag, currently in whose Diaz party representatives overlifts and now right power. Run up a nearly full communist constitution for the notion. Oh, wow. Alright. Well, we're back in Stalingrad. We leveled all of these, which is pretty cool. We could build some divisions. I'll change my templates and then I'll... actually, I can't really change my templates. I'll take a look at them. I suppose we can do that together, though. So we have these, which are 3 infantry, which are pretty... oh, 4 actually. Which are pretty mediocre filler. We have a couple of these. We have plus artillery, which are pretty good. We can actually, I'll probably take these to recruit a couple extra. Missing manpower already, but we have enough resources. I don't really like just playing motorized divisions, so I'll probably not use any of these. I have one of them, which I'll use for a while, but I'll probably not use it later. I do like the Pegasi quite a bit. I think they're just kind of cool. We do have 2 kinds of tank brigades. We have these and these. These have more units, but they have no support, which I think doesn't really matter a ton. Yeah, they cost the same to re-equip. So I'll use one of them, which I think the one with recon is probably a bit better. So we'll decommission this one and use this as our light tank division. All right.
Ready to do our part.
Veronica Krasnova has returned, and we finished our research, so we can now build better light tanks, which is wonderful. It's already December of 7, so soon we'll be able to go for these. So maybe we can take something that is fairly short. 160 days is pretty long. These are 100 days. That's fine. 160. How long is the radio? 190 days. 108. Okay, most of these were 108, so I think then we'll research the field hospital, and then in 20 days we'll be able to go for more industrial tech.
Ready to do our part.
Don't really care. I'm gonna build more tank divisions at some point. Right. We can research more tech. I'm gonna go for this, and then 5 days we get something else. We don't need to forget to build the construction of the Soviets, which gives us extra stability, so multiple things that are really nice for us. Research, but rather integrated production lines. And we'll have our farmers market fairly soon. The House of Erie declares war on the House of Erie. This is a thing that happens here. Gabi against Aranda. We finished our farmers market. Interesting. Alright, let's go for market regulations, which is gonna make sure we'll get rid of our food shortages pretty soon. Our industrial funds are unfortunately gone, so our construction speed is a bit slower than before, albeit not a big deal. We have decent production lines. We are just short a bit of light tank production. And steel. We are short a lot of steel. We'll use our next couple productions. Light tanks. Could take a military theorist, which I don't think is very useful. So we'll not do that for now. This one does give you a bit more tech. I think we need that. I'd rather go for some material designers. Click on the construction again. Just cost us a 2 in factory, but overall still pretty good. Later we'll be able to get a bit more communism support, and then when we finish it we get 4 extra civ factories. Alternatively, if you just stop building it at the beginning, you get 5 steel, but you lose a bit of stability. You could get some civ factories, but it does cost political power still. I'm not sure it's all that important, and I kind of like building it because I think it also gives you a pretty nice pretty nice spirit for your civilization. Successful revolution. Alright. We finished market regulations, which should help a bit. And we can simplify our bureaucracy, which is going to give us a bit of build speed, and then take our town into the fold. Take 70 days again. We lose a bit of political power, unfortunately, but that's not that big a deal.
Our lands must be preserved.
We have visions. I suppose we should train these. do want to beat up Graphonia at some point. They have 5 to 7 military factories. Oh, the changing Stamalinia already happens. Alright. That means that there's gonna be war here, and so helping our dearest Republic didn't actually do that much. Unfortunately, not super surprising. A lot of equipment, but we're missing manpower. I think next thing I do is already go up into a higher one there. Just to check one thing. Oh yeah. So do we have any ideas how many divisions they might have? It's trains. Yeah, we know they have 9 to 23 divisions. There's some special forces. We do know we have 100k in the field, so once we fight Nova Griffonia, that fight's going to be relatively close. Right, with multiple wars on our world, on our continent rather. Both Yakistan and Jaki clan are fighting, which usually doesn't really matter, but the Changeling lands are taking over this republic. They're usually winning this fight. They're fairly strong, so we can do nothing. We can condemn their event, which gives us like a very minor amount of stability. I'll do it. Why not? Send them a letter about being, settle Arabia as lost to the Arabian Popular Front. Yay, we have a food market. So our food shortages are getting better. It's wonderful. We do want to get rid of them. Food shortages are no fun. And we definitely want to get some steel at some point. We could trade for steel, which I will do once we have puppeted Nova Griffonia, which will happen at some point, I think. Are we puppeting them? Griffin? Actually, we might. We'll see. I'm not sure if that actually puppets them. I went for the other focus tree last time. Alright, we'll go for our town, which will hopefully formalize them into our state.
Magic makes us strong.
Magic does make us strong, doesn't it? Why did we just lose pony power? We have a decision here. So we can either give ourselves farmer subsidies or don't do that. Okay, so this one makes our farmer shortages like get better a bit, and this makes them get better by a lot. Does cost us a bunch of political power, however. But gives us more recruitable pop, so I think I'm gonna go for this. Good question. Hopefully this goes away at some point. 15% consumer good factories is rough, but I assume so. Yeah, the changelings are crushing. Right, what do we research next? So this gives extra construction speed and output. So we'll go for this first to get there. Oh yeah, wonderful. We're gonna go for focusing on light tanks. And we have finished our multiple integration lines. It is 8. We can't research this yet. We could research this one now, which just gives us a bit of defense. But I think I'm gonna go for the radio first. Radio gives a bunch of useful pets. Put more divisions. Do we have sufficient amount of tanks? Do not. We have a lot of. Alright. Great. Lack of goods and farmer subsidy. Okay, both of them are gone. Wonderful. So now one issue has been resolved. We should definitely add a couple more units here. So we do want to acquire a couple more.
Ready to do our part.
I'm gonna send these. Alright, we finished our focus, our town. So now let's hope they want to get integrated. We could go for Pioneer Organization, which makes us a lot stronger. But I think I wanna hit the Griffins already and go for a war. Not. This gives us some factories. Takes pretty long too. Well, yeah, I think I like going for the war already. Which does mean that I should probably acquire these now. That will be in a war fairly soon. See, yes, Starlight Town wants to be part of our country. Wonderful.
Ready to do our part.
We get one extra division. I don't think we need to gain. I think I'm good. But that's cool. We have annexed them, and we'll go for the Griffin colony intervention next. Checking out Nova Griffonia, hopefully. As we will have to be strong enough to fight changelings and the Equestria soon. Alright, we finished a bunch of our civilian factories. I do want to build a couple more. I want to build some more civilian factories. And then after these are finished, I'll probably start building military factories. We really have enough to build more. No, not anymore. Pretty nice. Looks great so far. Alright, but this video I think has been going long enough, so I'll stop here and I'll see you in the next one where we will be attacking the Griffon colony.